I got a Daisy feeling. I got a Daisy feeling. Yeah.
What's going on, Cinepals? I am Andrew Flash Gordon, and I am joined by my co-host, Courtney Scott Wright.
Hello, hello.
And we are here for the non-spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. As we just mentioned, we are not going to mention any spoilers at all. We will be doing a spoiler talk eventually. We're actually going to most likely do a live stream, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and if you could smash the like button to let YouTube know you are enjoying what you're watching, we'd really appreciate it. What'd you think of the film, Courtney?
I really enjoyed it. I have avoided all spoilers since last year, Comic-Con, up until we did some... I think we did some reviews.
TV spots.
Yeah, we did some TV spots. That's the only thing that I've seen thus far. Going into this film, I was so excited and ready to just see whatever was coming, and I loved it. This was... Rocket Raccoon is still my number one dude. He is still awesome. Bradley Cooper killed it again, and it was just such a great story.
I thought James Gunn knocked it out of the park. He ended the trilogy in such a beautiful, emotional, and interesting way. The storyline was really just emotional is the best
and
way
satisfying.
I can use. It was very satisfying,
Yeah.
but emotional is the best way I can use to describe it without going too much into spoilers. The production design in this film was fantastic. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but one of the locations is a location from the first film. I'm not going to mention which one, but it had major Blade Runner vibes in it. I think you know the location I'm talking. It's one of the main locations in the film. You should know which location.
I think I know which location you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I also think I thought it was somewhere else.
Yeah, but I thought James Gunn really did a fantastic job giving these characters that we were so invested in at this point, just from the first two films to the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and also their brief role in everyone's favorite film, Thor, Love and Thunder.
It was definitely a love letter to the Guardians, but it also was great character building, because as we saw in Endgame, Gamora is a different Gamora, and so it really gave us the opportunity along with her to get to know the Guardians again and to see who they are individually. Each one of the Guardians had a special moment, had just an opportunity to shine and show who they are and what they bring to the team.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I'm just curious, what did you think? We got two new major characters that were in this film. We have Adam Warlock and we have the High Evolutionary. What did you think of either of the characters or both of them? Why don't you go ahead and let us know?
Well, the High Evolutionary, so at Comic-Con, he was super larger than life. He came and made an appearance in costume. I didn't really know much about the High Evolutionary, so I had to go back and really start researching. And I thought that what he did was really interesting. He made a worthy adversary for the team. We saw Adam Warlock at the end of
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and there was
Volume 2.
Yeah, and there was one moment as an Easter egg in the first film in the collector.
Yes, I thought it was in the first one. The first one, and then again
the post-credit scene.
Yes, the post-credit scene. So I'm glad they finally did that resolution, and I knew he was coming. In my opinion, he was the Adam Warlock who is kind of finding his way. So this really was about the Guardians had their own journey to figure out what's next for them. And I think the same thing, Adam Warlock was also going through that same kind of journey, deciding who he wants to be.
I don't know too much about in terms of the comics with Adam Warlock and the High Evolutionary, but I did like what Will Poulter did. He had a good on-screen presence as the character. He had some very funny lines. It's a James Gunn film, so you know he's going to get some funny lines.
I thought that Nebula had a really incredible journey as well, because from the Nebula we first met in Guardians 1, and then watching her trajectory, who she was, where she came from, what she overcame, and who she decided, ultimately to join, given that it was just her and Rocket in Endgame. They were the last two, and she wasn't even an official Guardian.
I really think a lot Nebula and Loki just have such fascinating journeys, where they started to where they've come to, whether it be the Loki that of course died in Avengers Infinity War, which came out 5 years ago today, by the way, happy anniversary, and if it was Nebula, I love the journeys that these characters, it's that redemption arc, and I think they just do such a good job with these characters. I also thought Kraglin had some really good moments as well.
Yeah.
When it came to the High Evolutionary, I just thought the actor did a great job of just bringing a menacing, true level threat to the Guardians. I really actually felt like any of them could possibly pass at any which time. I'm obviously not going to say whether any of them did or not, but I just felt in the moment they were truly threatened, and I felt like he had some really good lines. I understood his motivation, what he was trying to do. I didn't agree with it, but I understood his motivation.
I thought he fit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? In
yeah.
terms of like given the seriousness and levity that we always get in a Guardians film, I think that he absolutely was on par with everybody else. It's hard to be a villain out there. I mean, honestly, given what Thanos did, there still really hasn't been anybody who is going to come from that place of what Thanos did. You know, it was so epic. So what he did, he made his character his own.
I personally thought he was better than Ronan in the first film, and then I did like Ego in the second film, but overall, this was really good. Also, too, really quickly, last thing I want to point to, by the way, Dave Bautista's Drax again was fantastic in this film.
He was brilliant.
He was really, he had some great scenes and some good laughs, of course. We will get, of course, into it more in the spoiler talk as we're about to wrap up here. The last thing I just want to say, and I'll let you finish off as well. I was a little bit saddened when I saw that the music was not composed in this film. I'm not talking about the actual songs. I'm talking about the background score of the film. Was not composed by Tyler Bates, who I loved in the first two films as well as 300. But I really liked John Murphy's score in this film. There were some themes and stuff that he used from Tyler Bates, but there was this one scene which I will not describe. I will just say it's involving the High Evolutionary, that this operatic type of like score started going off in the background. I was like, oh, I love this score. This is so good. There were some emotional beats. There were some action scenes elevated by the score by John Murphy. So I just wanted to point out I really enjoyed the score of this. Anything else you want to add on?
Okay, first of all, I know I've read in the comments sometimes when you guys say, when I say, oh, it was fun, that means I don't like it. No, I totally did like it. I love the movies, and I thought that I had a good time. I had a really good time with this movie because I thought that I was gonna go in and either be really sad or just didn't know what to expect. So I enjoyed the ride of this film, and I thought that it was very well done. Two last things I want to say in terms of like Zoe Saldana as Gamora. I loved what we got from this character. You know, we didn't just jump back to like the Gamora that we knew in the first one and or the second one or even in Infinity War. I love that this Gamora stayed true to what she needed in her life and in her journey. I think that was spot on because that was one of my fears, is that, you know, like it's something that is going to look like it did in the originals, and I was very happy with her journey. Drax, I think that we got a chance to really see a side of Drax that, you know, we missed, you know what I mean? Like in terms of like, who is this character? Because yeah, he's funny. He's like very blunt and literal, but at the same time, there's also more to him. And I love that we got to see that.
I agree with everything you said, to be quite honest. There wasn't
Mantis killed. Everybody killed.
Everyone was great in this, and again, we will go more deep into this in our spoiler talk, which again is most likely going to be a live stream, so be on the lookout for that after the film comes out. But of course, we know when this is being released that you guys haven't seen it yet, so how much are you anticipating this film, and anything else that you're looking forward to when it comes to this film? Certain characters, certain things you're looking for? Let us know in the comment section. We'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts, and we will see you guys on the live stream most likely for that spoiler talk, so make sure you're on the lookout. As I mentioned earlier, if you could hit the subscribe button, bell icon, on notifications, and smash the like button so you can let YouTube know that you're enjoying what you're watching. We'd really appreciate it. And I'm Andrew Flash Gordon, and this is
Courtney Wright.
We'll see you guys next time.